Over 60. And taking your pill with this every morning? You might be doing everything right, but one or two small habits could quietly undo the benefit of that pill. Many older adults follow the same morning routine. Wake up, take medication, maybe a quick drink or breakfast, and move on with the day. But recent research from the Mayo Clinic and American Heart Association shows something surprising. Certain parts of that routine can actually change how your medication works, even if you take the same dose at the same time every day. These changes can seem small, just a few points higher or lower on your blood pressure monitor. But over time, they can make your treatment less effective, or even raise the risk of dizziness, fatigue, and unstable readings. Do not skip this part. Key educational frame. In this video, we'll look at 5 common morning habits that seem harmless, yet can quietly interfere with how your blood pressure medicine works. Most people have never heard about them, and some are things doctors see every day. By the end, you'll know how to make your morning routine work with your medication, not against it. So your numbers stay stable, your mind stays clear, and your treatment actually protects you the way it's meant to. If you're new here, welcome to MedDose Explained. We create evidence-based videos to help seniors and caregivers use medications safely and confidently. This video is for educational purposes only. It's not a substitute for professional medical advice. Always talk with your healthcare provider before changing when or how you take your medication. Now, let's start with the very first morning habit, the one that surprises almost everyone. For many people, coffee is the first thing they reach for after taking their morning pills. It wakes you up, gets you moving, and feels harmless. But for some blood pressure medications, that timing can quietly fight against what your medicine is trying to do. Caffeine temporarily raises blood pressure by blocking a chemical in your body called adenosine, and by triggering a short burst of adrenaline. That means your arteries tighten slightly and your heart beats a little faster. It's the exact opposite of what most blood pressure drugs are meant to do. According to the Mayo Clinic, caffeine can raise blood pressure by about 5 to 10 points for up to 3 hours. Especially if you don't drink coffee regularly, or if you take your pill on an empty stomach. The American Heart Association says this effect can be even stronger in older adults, or people taking beta blockers or clonidine, because caffeine can blunt how well those medications work. For example, if you take your pill at 7 a.m. and sip your coffee right after, you might see your blood pressure drop later than expected, or fluctuate through the morning, giving you uneven protection. Some people notice palpitations, lightheadedness, or anxiety, not realizing that caffeine timing, not the dose, is the real trigger. Key point: the timing of coffee can change how well your blood pressure pill works. What's the safer approach? Wait about 30 to 60 minutes after taking your medication before having coffee. That gives your medicine time to absorb and start working. If you monitor at home, try checking your pressure both before and after coffee for a few days. You'll see how your own body reacts. And if you're someone who loves a stronger brew or multiple cups, keep total caffeine under about 200 milligrams a day. That's roughly 2 small cups. It's usually enough for energy, without fighting your blood pressure control. So, your morning coffee doesn't have to disappear. It just needs to come after your medication, not with it. Takeaway: morning coffee is fine. Just delay it 30 to 60 minutes after your pill. Now, what about fruit juice? Many people think it's the healthy choice to wash down a pill, but one common juice can actually make certain blood pressure drugs too strong. That's coming up next. You've probably heard that fruit juice is healthy in the morning. Vitamin C, hydration, a fresh start to your day. But if that juice is grapefruit or even orange, and you're taking blood pressure medication, that healthy routine might quietly work against you. Here's what's happening. Grapefruit blocks an enzyme in your liver called CYP3A4. That enzyme's job is to help your body break down certain medications, especially calcium channel blockers like amlodipine, felodipine, and nifedipine. When grapefruit shuts that system down, your body can't clear the drug normally. The result? The medicine stays in your bloodstream longer and builds up to higher levels. Your blood pressure can drop too far, too fast, causing dizziness, weakness, or even fainting. The US FDA has officially warned about this interaction, and those same warnings appear on every package label for these drugs. Key tip: grapefruit plus amlodipine or similar drugs equals unsafe combo. Now, orange juice isn't quite as dangerous, but it can still cause trouble. It interferes with special transport proteins in your intestines called OATP, which helps some medicines get absorbed. That means certain drugs, like atenolol, may not work as well when taken with orange juice. So in one case, grapefruit makes the dose too strong. In the other, orange juice makes it too weak. For older adults, the effects can be amplified. With age, liver metabolism slows and medication sensitivity increases. So even a single glass of grapefruit juice can trigger side effects that feel like overmedication, dizziness when standing up, or an unusually low reading on the blood pressure monitor. Do not skip this part. Key educational frame. Plain water is safest for all medications. The safest move? Take your medication with plain water only. If you love citrus, simply wait 3 to 4 hours after your pill or enjoy it later with lunch instead of breakfast. And always check with your doctor or pharmacist if your prescription interacts with grapefruit, especially if you're on a calcium channel blocker. It's a small change, but it can help your medicine do its job safely, predictably, and exactly as your doctor intended. Many people over 60 say the same thing. I don't really feel hungry in the morning, so I just take my pills and eat later. It sounds harmless, but that small delay can make your blood pressure harder to control than you think. Here's why. When you skip breakfast, your body reacts as if it's under stress. Cortisol and adrenaline rise to keep you alert and energized, the same hormones that raise blood pressure. So even if your medication is working, your body is pushing in the opposite direction. Later in the morning, when those hormones suddenly drop, your pressure can dip too far. That's when dizziness or lightheadedness often appear. For older adults, this pattern can be risky. Your body's ability to regulate pressure when standing, called orthostatic response, becomes weaker with age. Without food, your stomach is empty. Absorption can be faster or uneven, and that can magnify medication effects. The NIH National Institute on Aging warns that skipping meals increases the risk of orthostatic hypotension, the sudden fall in blood pressure when you stand up. The Cleveland Clinic adds that a balanced breakfast supports smoother hormone balance and helps prevent those morning pressure swings. If you've ever felt dizzy after standing up, or noticed your readings drop suddenly mid-morning, breakfast, or the lack of it, might be part of the reason. Skipping breakfast, hormone swings, BP instability, dizziness risk, especially in seniors. The fix is simple and gentle. Take your medication with or right after a light meal. It doesn't have to be heavy. A bowl of oatmeal, a banana, yogurt, or a few whole grain crackers are enough to stabilize your system. Avoid taking pills on an empty stomach unless your doctor specifically instructs otherwise. And if you manage both blood pressure and diabetes medications, consistent meal timing helps both work together more safely. For most people, the goal isn't a big breakfast. It's a steady morning rhythm. A few bites of food taken at the same time each day can make your blood pressure and your medication far more predictable. Light breakfast with meds, smoother hormones, steadier BP, fewer dizzy spells. If your clinician says empty stomach for a specific drug, follow their instruction. We all know exercise is one of the best things you can do for your heart. It strengthens your arteries, improves circulation, and helps your blood pressure in the long run. But here's something many people over 60 don't realize. The timing of that exercise can make a real difference, especially if you've just taken your blood pressure medication. Here's what happens. Most blood pressure drugs start working about 30 to 60 minutes after you swallow them. That's when their effect on your heart and blood vessels is at its peak. Now imagine you take your pill and immediately start your morning walk or exercise routine. Both your medication and your workout are lowering your blood pressure at the same time. That overlap can make it drop too far too quickly, leaving you feeling lightheaded, weak, or even at risk of falling. If you're taking a beta blocker, the situation is a bit different, but still important. Beta blockers limit how fast your heart can beat during activity. So you might feel more tired than usual, or notice your heart rate won't rise as expected. Other medicines like ACE inhibitors or ARBs, for example lisinopril or losartan, can cause a bit of fatigue or dizziness right after the dose, especially in older adults. The Cleveland Clinic and the American Heart Association both recommend waiting at least 30 to 60 minutes after taking your medication before moderate exercise. Key tip: wait 30 to 60 minutes after your pill before exercise. That short delay gives your body time to reach a steady level of the drug, so your heart and circulation adjust safely. So what's the best approach? Start gently. A light stretch, slow breathing, or a short indoor warm-up. Then, once an hour has passed, move into your regular activity. And if you ever feel dizzy, pause immediately, sit down, and check your blood pressure if you can. Safety reminder: always listen to your body and don't push through dizziness. For most people, exercise is medicine too. But like any medicine, timing matters. For many older adults, mornings start with a handful of pills. A blood pressure tablet, a water pill, maybe one for diabetes, and something for cholesterol. It feels efficient. Get them all done at once, with breakfast or before the day begins. But combining too many medications at the same time can quietly create problems that build up over weeks or months. Here's what happens. Each medication affects your circulation, kidneys, and metabolism in different ways. When several are taken together, especially blood pressure drugs and diuretics, their effects can stack. Your blood pressure may drop faster than your body can adapt. You might feel dizzy when standing up, or need to rush to the bathroom more often. That's because diuretics increase urine output, and when combined with another antihypertensive, they can trigger orthostatic hypotension, a sudden dropping pressure when moving from sitting to standing. The risk doesn't stop there. If you're also taking diabetes medication or a statin, the overlap can affect blood sugar and electrolyte balance. Even mild dehydration from diuretics can make these drugs act more strongly. A major PubMed review found that polypharmacy, taking 5 or more daily medications, significantly raises the risk of falls, confusion, and hospital visits in seniors. Key point: multiple morning pills can combine in ways that raise fall and dizziness risk. That's why the AHA/ACC 2025 and ESC/ESH 2023 guidelines now emphasize individualized timing. They recommend spreading certain medications across the day, or using fixed-dose combinations, single tablets that combine 2 drugs in safe, balanced amounts. This approach simplifies your schedule, improves adherence, and reduces side effects. So what's a safe routine? Take your blood pressure medicine first, with water. Wait about 30 to 60 minutes. Then have your other morning medications with food, unless your doctor says otherwise. And always review your medication list at least once a year with your healthcare provider or pharmacist. They can spot overlaps, adjust timing, or switch to combination pills that make your day simpler and safer. Managing multiple prescriptions isn't just about remembering them, it's about balancing them, so each medicine helps your body, not competes with another. Key takeaway: don't take all your morning pills together. Space them out safely and check with your doctor once a year. When it comes to blood pressure, the details matter. A cup of coffee too soon, a glass of grapefruit juice, skipping breakfast, exercising too early, or taking every pill at once. Each may seem small, but together they shape how well your medication works every single day. The good news is, you don't have to change everything. Just adjust when you do certain things, and your body will thank you. Wait a little before your coffee. Drink water instead of juice. Have a light breakfast. Give your medicine time before exercise. And talk with your doctor about how to spread out your pills safely. These small, steady habits can make your blood pressure more predictable and your mornings more stable. Because managing hypertension isn't just about the numbers. It's about rhythm, timing, and awareness. Key takeaway: it's not about doing more. It's about doing things in the right order at the right time. If you found this helpful, please take a moment to subscribe. It helps this information reach more people who need it. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these habits surprised you most? Have you noticed any changes in your blood pressure with your morning routine? You can also watch our next video, Over 65? Why some doctors split BP pills morning and night. where we explain why timing can change how well your medicine works over 24 hours. Thank you for watching MedDose Explained. Stay informed, stay safe, and always work closely with your doctor before making any changes to your routine.